In the little village of Laurac in southern France, Nigel Farrell and Reza Mohammed have invested £20,000 in transforming a French restaurant into the first Indian restaurant in the Ardèche. Whilst Nigel signs the handover contract with the owners, Reza's in Paris, where he's found a chef.
Chopping very like a machine, that's very fast.
So, Reza, this is the moment.
Midday, 48 hours later, the restaurant formally becomes theirs.
All I have to say to you, my dear, is votre cauchemar est fini et le mien commence. Which is, your nightmare is over while mine begins.
Nigel and Reza have rented the restaurant they've now renamed L'été Indien, the Indian Summer, for the busy high season months. After renovating it, they plan to open for business in just 2 weeks' time in order to cash in on the bulk of the holiday season. Up at the house at Les Fabres, they're all waiting for the arrival of the chef tomorrow. For years, Reza has been practicing Schubert's Impromptu No. 1 as a way of de-stressing. Sadly, he still has some way to go. But there's much to be done. Reza and Nigel have had to raise £10,000 each to set up L'été Indien, but afterwards, all the running costs must be funded by the business.
Let me just get this quite clear in my own mind. What we put in has gone to the rent. The cap has gone on the rent. So everything, is that right? Everything else has to come out from the income.
Taking. Yeah, it has to come from the taking.
Staff wages, food,
wine. You've got to get gas, electricity, your rent. Everything has to come out from the takings. Now, if we don't meet the targets, then we may as well close the restaurant in a couple of weeks.
If somebody has to be fired and it has to be Ramsar, doesn't it make sense for you to break the bad news?
I've only come to consult you and to set this restaurant up. I'm not here to do the day-to-day running of a restaurant. You're in charge. If you're hiring the staff, you can't expect me to come in and then start firing them. You have to do that. Whoever you hire, you have to hire and fire. When I hire, I have to fire.
So you're used to doing it.
Well, I'm not. No, it's not easy. I know it's not easy because I don't like firing people. But when push comes to shove, if it has to be done, it's got to be done, and you've got to do it, Nigel. It's not me who's got to do it, it's you.
Well, you
better
give me a lesson in how to fire somebody.
Right,
nicely.
okay.
The chef's arriving from Paris tomorrow by TGV, and Nigel's agreed to collect him from Montélimar. However, Nigel's concerned about the fact that he speaks no English.
How am I going to learn Hindi?
Well, the first thing, you may as well say namaste to him. Maybe he'll understand that.
What?
Namaste is a greeting.
Namaste. We give him a month's trial, is that what we...
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I think that's what we do. We give him a month's trial, and then if he's happy, then he can bring the family.
Can I pass this to you?
Absolutely, lovely.
At the restaurant, with the help of Nigel's friend Sally Ann and Ramsar, the waitress they're keeping on, the transformation of L'été Indien begins.
What is your mother like?
Christiane, the owner, is staying on with the business as a paid consultant. And her daughter Isobel and son Manu will be on hand to help.
That's why I'm sort of here, sort of like, Mr. Sheen, Mr. Whiz, whatever. I'm going to be like a tornado, a whirling dervish going out of world. Yeah, so just get on with it. Yeah, I'm getting on with it.
Nigel,
all right, Nigel.
Stop
being so bossy. I shall do my utmost. I can't help myself,
Somebody better help me.
Without Sally Ann, who's given up a few weeks from her job in London to come over and lend a hand, Nigel and Reza would be hard-pressed to reach their July the 4th deadline.
Just ask Christine, because those all go together, those plans. Okay. And then when you've done that, you need an inventory of the wine.
First thing next morning, and Sally Ann is up at the crack of dawn before the heat of the Mediterranean sun kicks in. Nigel's agreed to be there first thing to help her, but Celine's giving him a lift down from the house and they're running late.
There were supposed to be 2 of us doing this today. Anyway, I shouldn't complain. I'll just get on with it.
Although Nigel and Celine are both preoccupied with their own businesses, it seems they're getting on very well.
Can we go swimming together?
Swimming? Nude. I don't have my bikini.
Nude's fine. Are you allowed to swim nude down here? Can you do that?
At night.
At night.
Midnight.
Sounds great.
Meanwhile, Reza's at the local weekly market where he's on the phone to his London restaurant. He needs some advice on how locally available produce can be adapted to Indian cooking.
Fresh coconut, I've spoken to Christian about that. And also, send me the list. I'll have to give you a fax number of Gandhi's stuff, so then at least I know exactly what there is. We can just compare the prices also. If it's cheaper in London, I'd rather get it from London then, because otherwise the food costs, it'll be extortionate, really.
Back at the restaurant, things are starting to happen. With the opening in just 2 weeks, it's all hands to the pump.
C'est fini? C'est fini? Madame Touchon.
Darling.
Are you ready, Reza?
I'm ready.
Okay, and...
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's exactly how I thought it would be.
Ah, Christian.
Didn't you do well, Nigel? What a difference. And the light, I knew, this is exactly how I wanted it.
I tell you what.
I'm excited. We need to get these, are these polished? Have you been polishing this? No, not yet. Oh, all right. But the funny thing is the wood is standing out more. Yeah. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. You did a fantastic job.
Sal's
Oh, was it? Oh.
Come and see outside. Come and see outside.
But you've done a brilliant job. Well done.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it. Is this wall going to be painted?
Well, what do you think?
I think it needs painting.
Sal?
I think it would be... Are you doing this?
Yeah, well, we'll do it together.
Nigel, you are going to do it, okay.
Yeah, no, we've done it together.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's decide in here. So these would replace these
Yes,
ones here?
yes, it would.
Okay.
Definitely. Now, this I know is going to go outside. I'll show you, for example.
So, can you come and hold it in position?
Like that there. Oh, you know what?
Are you sure that's...
No, oh, we could put it on the other side and we could put something else there.
Okay,
So I'll try it on the other side. Let's see. Is it too big?
So, can you just hold it in position?
Oh, that would look gorgeous
Actually,
here.
that fits perfectly.
Perfectly,
So,
and it
just
would
hold
look
it.
absolutely gorgeous there. Oh my God, she's beautiful. I want that.
There's no time to lose. In the summer, the Ardèche becomes a magnet for tourists from all over France and from Holland and Germany too. So to cash in on the tourist season, Nigel and Reza must open as soon as possible. July the 4th, only a fortnight away, is the earliest they believe they can realistically open L'été Indien. They also know it's critical to catch the attention of the visitors through good marketing if they're going to stand any chance of being successful.
आपका इंतजाम हो रहा है कल आने के लिए, लेकिन आप आने वाले हैं?
Back at the restaurant, a call comes through from Paris.
यहाँ तो है school. Okay, fair. Bye.
What's happened?
He's not coming. He's pulled out.
The chef's pulled out?
Yeah.
You're joking.
Because he's more concerned about his children's schooling. That's the problem now. And he's now messed us around completely. I don't know. I think he's just decided it wasn't for him, so...
Rez,
I know.
we open in 2 weeks.
I know, Nigel.
July the 4th, it's booked.
I know. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. But, you know, I'm going to find someone. I'm sure we'll find someone. We will find someone. But
the invitations are all printed for July the 4th.
Well, we'll have to postpone it.
The mayor's booked.
We have to postpone it. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it's not funny.
Mate,
I know.
This is not a joke. What are we going to do?
Well, look, we've got 2 weeks. I'll find someone. Don't worry, I'm going to find someone. There will be someone.
What, in 2 weeks to train up, get ready, July
We'll
the
get
4th?
someone. I'll get someone. I will get someone. C'est la vie. What a drama. It's always, the problem is, you know, when you set up a restaurant, you're bound to expect a few hiccups.
Yeah, I know,
and this is one of the dramas of running and setting up a restaurant.
I know, but this is, like, serious. Everything's arranged. We're actually never going to find somebody in 2 weeks.
We will find someone. Trust me, I will find someone for you.
Get them up here, train them up and running for July the 4th.
4th I can't, but it may be a week later.
So
it may be a week, actually.
The inauguration is off, basically.
Nice on the Côte d'Azur, a few hours' drive south of the Ardèche. Reza's come here in his urgent search for an Indian chef. It won't be easy. The Indian population in France is tiny compared with the UK, but Indian food has started to become fashionable in the big metropolitan areas of France, and a few Indian restaurants have recently sprung up here. A friend of Reza's who knows the place has several contacts. Most of the Indian chefs Reza knows in London have Indian passports and could never get a French work permit in time. Nice is now his only hope.
I think it would be very difficult to find someone within 2 weeks to work there. Your best bet would be bringing people from England.
I thought if I could get someone from here because they would have more empathy towards the French palate. But you're now saying to me it's practically impossible.
Me, myself, I'm looking for a chef for nearly 3 months now.
Oh, you're looking over here?
I'm looking over here for myself one, and I can't find one.
Bloody hell, I'm really in a hot pickle. How the hell am I going to tell Nigel that we're going to open up on the 4th of July? I have no idea.
But don't worry, I'll find you a chef.
I know, well,
we'll go and find
I'm not
something.
worried.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
Back home in Lorac, Nigel's come up with a bright idea to help with publicity.
Diane has this amazing network of very good friends who will die for her. They'll do anything for her. Marie-Elise fits into that category, I think.
Okay.
With the restaurant comes a white van, and Christiane's friend Marie-Elise, a local artist, would do anything to help the restaurant.
Oh my goodness!
That's fantastic.
Oh, I love that.
Complètement fou. Hein?
Flower power.
It's magnifique.
Le toit. Là, il y aura l'été indien au relais fleuri.
So again, the sign here, l'été indien, relais fleuri. Et le numéro de téléphone.
Le numéro de téléphone et ça sera peint comme ça, une fleur, et puis ça va descendre là, comme ça, là, 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 là. Bon, ça sera caché, là, on va dessiner.
It's really depressing. I've been looking everywhere for a chef, and it's been an absolute nightmare. We may have to hold the opening up by a week, I think. What? Look, Nigel, I can't find a chef. It's been a nightmare. What? I know, but there's nothing I can do. You'll have to just have to trust me on this, really.
It's quite interesting.
Later that evening, what could be a breakthrough. Reza discovers on the grapevine there's a waiter in one of Nice's Indian restaurants who is actually a fully trained Indian chef. Reza might be able to lure him away.
You know this chap who just served us?
Yeah.
He's actually a chef, I think. He's on temporary...
So why is he a waiter?
He's working here temporarily. I think they have a problem with I don't know what. Anyway, I think he's a chef, and if you're interested in meeting up with him and discussing this thing...
Well, I'm in a very desperate situation, Monty, so anything is... I need to see someone ASAP, otherwise this is a wasted trip for me completely.
Early next morning, Reza calls Nigel and suggests he drive straight down to Nice to meet the man.
Ce soir? I will be late.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Au revoir. Au revoir.
Nice?
Nice, au revoir.
Okay.
Bonne chance, chérie.
Good luck.
Come, have a seat.
Edward as in E-D-W-A-R-D, Edward.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereabouts in India do you come from?
No, I am not India, I am Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka,
Sri
okay.
Lanka.
And is the cooking...
It's
Similar?
Ceylon, yeah, it is similar, but there's a lot of South Indian influences.
Sri Lanka.
And it would be all right with your restaurant where you work now if you left on July the 5th?
Ask Sharon.
You have to ask the boss.
You ask Sharon.
Do you trust him? Do you think he's serious?
He seems serious enough. I think he seems very, very serious. He said that he's going to let me know tomorrow when he can come up to Lorac. He's thinking of coming up on Thursday. Now, if he does come up on Thursday, that's brilliant for us, then.
So, if you're happy with the food tomorrow, he comes on Thursday, he sees the place, and if he's happy, we know. Thursday lunchtime, and then we can fix July the 13th for definite.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so.
Because do you agree we can't go through this again?
I don't want to go through this again.
At last, things are looking up. And back in Lorac, there's another pleasant surprise in store.
Huh? Rez, the van.
I need some peppercorns.
Rez, the van.
What?
The van.
The van? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! My darling, hang on. I love it.
Like all good artists sign it. This is her name,
They are.
Okay.
I love it.
It's glittery.
Rez, the panels saying Lorello Fleury Latex go here.
I think it's wonderful. Oh, it's beautiful.
In we go. We need to ride in this chariot of fire.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
On est heureux comme des poissons dans l'eau, sur le plancher des vaches. On peut guécher dans tous les caboulots, sur le plancher des vaches. Le vin, les femmes, on a tout ça. Mais oui, madame, sur ce plancher-là, c'est presque un amiral, le matelot, sur le plancher des vaches.
Up at Lyon Airport, another new arrival, Nippy, who with his old friend Nigel spent the last year renovating the house at Les Fabres they share, has flown in at short notice, saying he's keen to see the new restaurant. Predictably, Nippy's not impressed by the van.
For one, whosoever's done it doesn't even know if India exists on this Mother Earth.
It doesn't matter, actually. What matters is the
mean,
no, hang on a minute. When the panels are on, they're not on at the moment, with the name and the telephone on. What matters is that as we drive past people, they'll stop and stare.
You know, they're not going to look at the sign that you're hoping people will read. They say, who's that mad guy driving it? And you're driving me in it. I'm sitting in it with you.
You don't have to be in it most of the time, obviously, but
yeah,
I think it will attract people's attentions
fabulously. Yes, oh yeah, you can bet on that.
Okay, so you think it'd be much better just to have left it completely white?
You know, you could have done so many other things to it.
Yeah, but
okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
We're
matter.
under a lot of pressure. We're under a lot of pressure. It
I
seemed a good idea just to
okay, tell me something. Forget about all this. How's it going so far?
For the restaurant? it's been actually quite difficult. I mean, you didn't expect an easy ride, did you?
No.
But I didn't expect it to be quite as comfortable. Welcome, bienvenue to L'été Indien.
Well,
How are you, baby?
you?
Good to see you.
Reza.
Hello.
This is Nippy.
Oh, hi. Hi, Nippy. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I heard a lot about you.
How are you? How are you?
How are you? I love your wonderful turban.
Yeah?
Let's turn
Hey,
around.
don't tell me you haven't seen a turban.
Well, no, I haven't. But it's so in perfect condition. It's too neat. I don't see them so perfect. Yeah.
Some of the time.
Only the turban.
Oh, this is
So did you have a good
come
trip?
to help us.
Hello.
Hi.
Sarian.
Ardoisoise. Trois.
Do I do the same?
No, please don't.
So you remember? This is now all a different colour. Where did he get him? I don't know. He fell out of a tree. Look, different walls. You remember what it was like before?
Oh,
All
yes.
this green walls are new. Nippy, all these we borrowed.
Okay.
Everything you see on the wall, except from a mirror, which is the same. We borrowed these paintings and these lights from
That's quite
an
nice,
Indian guy in London who Reza knows. He's lent us these paintings. So we borrowed these, and if people want to buy them, we could sell them on his behalf.
All right, so you've got sort of mini gallery.
This Reza borrowed because he thought that looked like Celine. My Celine.
Where is she?
She's working. She works hard.
That's nice. No, I think.
What do you think?
You know, I think it's quite great. Very nice.
You do?
Very nice. Very nice. And so you obviously, it's clear that you have done this just as well.
What do you mean it's clear I haven't done this?
Oh yeah, it's done so nicely.
Which charm school were you educated in again? Just remind me.
From Lorac, back up to the house Nippy and Nigel spent so long renovating at Les Fabres, and the real reason for Nippy's surprise visit emerges. He's discovered that Nigel's raised a loan against Les Fabres, and he's very concerned that if the restaurant flops, he'll lose the house.
Nippy, you know the problems I've had. I have tried so hard to get work. It's much, much more difficult than you can imagine.
Well, I told you so.
So I've had no choice. I've borrowed every penny I can to invest in the restaurant. The restaurant is about to open, okay? It'll do well. The money I've borrowed is absolutely safe.
What if it doesn't?
Well, it will. It will do well.
In the next programme, the new chef arrives. But how will the locals react to their first taste of curry? Things get increasingly tense as the official opening draws near.
The trouble with you
I have
is...
spent months setting it. I have spent months setting this up. Do you make it sound as though I just suddenly yesterday thought, let's have a tasting?
And there's a crisis over the lack of bookings.
I cannot believe that not one single friend of hers has said, I'll book a table for next Wednesday. Not a single person has done that.
Now, the book of the series is out now, priced at $7.99. To order, call 0870 1234 344 or click on channel4.com/shop. Now, next on 4, friends and family spill the beans about the real Charlotte Church.